Here's the third video. In my last video, I was talking about the Aborigine and the origins of black uh, Aborigines and the Dravids. And here, okay, Leviticus 13, you see that white people have um, a genetic disorder of raw flesh, raw pale flesh, raw white pale flesh that is considered, that is known as, it is identified as leprosy. Leviticus 13, verse 30, you actually see that that curse actually actually includes the blonde hair people. Like I said, if you got yellow hair and you're pale white skin, then you are unclean. So Leviticus 13 actually explains the uncleanliness and the corroding and deteriorating flesh of the Canaanites, the Aryan race, the mutated albinoids, who come from the mountains of Albion, which were the word of albino originated from. Okay, so Canaan was an albino. His name was Labana. Originally, his name was Labana, but he had his name changed by the Pleiadians who accepted him. The Pleiadians and the Nordics who accepted him, they changed his name to Canaan. So you go down to Genesis 27 and 28, you actually see Esau, who he was attracted to the Canaanite woman. His father found a disgust in the Canaanite woman. So, his father said, not to mate with the Canaanite. He was supposed to stay away from the Canaanite woman. But instead, he went and mated with them. And this is how we got the birth of the Dravids. So there are two races of Dravids. Two subgroups of the Dravidians. You have the Indians and the Arabs. Both of these groups come from the mixture of white people and black people intermixing with one another. White and black people intermixing one another gave birth to the seven etheric Dravidians. And then you have the Orientals, who are a mixture of white and Aborigine people. So a mixture of white and Aborigine gave birth to the Oriental Asian people. The Japanese, Chinese, Korean, those type of people, they come from the Aborigine, from an intermixing of Aborigine and white people DNA. As in, the Dravidians come from black people and white people mixing in. So the Rh factor is only found in the Nordic race, because the Homo simian species of the Nordic race. The Rh originally come from the rhesus monkey. It was added into the graftation of the Nordic people. Now the Yakub, the whole thing about Yakub, he is not mentioned in the Bible, but someone said that in Genesis 30 verse 25, where Jacob, like, even though the Y didn't exist until the Romans and the Catholics started changing up the Bible stories. Jacob, whose name is Jacob in the Bible. There's two Jacobs. You got Jacob, who is son of Lasana. He is a son of Lasana and another like he's a species of Dinakiel and Syene. He's a mixture of Dinakiels and Syene. Dinakiels have huge craniums. They're big-headed type species. Look up Big Head Scientist. You can actually find videos about him in that channel, Big Head Scientist. But there are two versions of Jacob. You got Jacob, who is a prophet from Genesis, who gave birth to Esau. I think Jacob was actually the son of Abraham. Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, he was the son of Abraham. So, and he gave birth to the religion. I believe it was. I know Ishmael gave birth to Arabic Islam. Like, all monotheistic religions come from Abraham, as he's known in the Quran, Ibrahim or Abraham. The Quran and the Bible. The Quran comes after the Bible. The Bible gave birth to the Quran, so they're both the same stories. And I don't know what this whole separation with war, but that's gonna be talked about in another video. But anyways, so Jacob in Genesis 30 verse 25 had went to the mountains. This is not when the white people, the Nordic race, was created. The Nordic people did not start with Genesis 30 verse 25. He just needed to get away from his family for a little bit. And the only people who lived in the mountains were the Aryans and the Nordics at that time. The Nordics and the Aryans were already in existence. The Nordics were already in existence when he went to the mountains. So he didn't create no Nordic race. But it was a character, a being named Jakob, who was a mixture of Sayin, the Tiro, the conehead species, which you see a lot of. You actually see a lot of things. You look up to conehead, extraterrestrial Anunnaki. They call them Anunnaki, but the real Anunnaki were the Riskians, the Elohim, the Netiru. They were the actual Anunnaki. But if you was to go into Genesis 30 verse 25, you actually see that is not explanation of Jacob. Minister Louis Farrakhan has actually said that his name that he was in the Bible. He's not mentioned in the Bible, but I don't know what to say about that. But anyways, Nubia, Africa was not named Akebilon. It was actually Nubia, and Nubia is the word of Nubian, or Nabu means gold. So Africa has a lot of gold. So of course, there's a lot of dirt. So the land of dirt, and then in the land of dirt, gold. In our genetics, we're called Nubians. So we have a little gold in our genetics, in our melanin. Our melanin is cosmic. So this video is about to end, and I'm gonna start another video tomorrow. Hope you like what I gave you.